Today's gonna be a long format. Hold on. It's gonna be a long format video, like a 10-12 minute video of how I came to this position and how it all started from my journey. So I started back in Houston. I'm from Houston originally, and I actually was on the way to become a soccer referee. Not gonna lie, that was a crazy one. The whole switch up was insane. I was gonna become a soccer referee. I did build a lot of years when I was starting from high school to 21, and then I realized one night, it was Astroworld. It was the Astroworld Festival, and I just went to the club one time. I was very intimidated. I was very antisocial. I really was shy to talk to anyone. I would just only talk to my friends. That's pretty much it. So I went by myself, and then one day it just kind of opened my eyes about how I wanted to work in the industry. One night it was Travis Scott performing. It was Aspire. Back then it was one of the biggest nightclubs in Houston. So I bought GA. I didn't get a table or anything. Literally just got GA ticket. It was $50 at that time, which at that time it was like, damn, it's a lot of money. But I went at 10 p.m. very early. Obviously now everyone knows not to show up that early, but I went at 10 p.m. when doors opened, and then I was like, damn, no one's here. What the heck? Like, why is no one here? And then I started realizing, okay, people started coming by the hour, and then 11:30, 12 is already slammed, 12:30, and then around 1:30, that's when Travis Scott came on, and oh my god, it just was the whole club was just crazy. Travis Scott just, the bangers that he just had, and was it 2018, 2019? Right before COVID. It was crazy. So that happened, and then I was seeing kids my age walking around the tables, being behind DJ booth. I was like, what I gotta do to be in that position? So I was very curious. I'm like, I need to actually I want to be in that position. Like, how can I be in that position? So weeks passed, and then I started realizing, I'm like, oh wait, I need to be in that position. So I did a trial. I would go to Spire almost every weekend and talk and ask for the manager or ask the bartender or ask anyone as a host, how can I be? I was really on people's butt, I really wanted to work in that industry. So a week passed, 2 weeks passed, I just kept trying every night, trying every night. And then one day the manager was like, you know what? Bring me a table and fill up the guest list. So I'm like, okay. I filled up the guest list. I bring one table, I was very thankful, right? One table, it was Spire, and then boom, COVID happened. So I thought, I was like, okay, this is probably not gonna work anymore. So I kept going, and then I started working during COVID in Texas, and started working in the nightclub industry. Texas allowed restaurants, and some places to open during that time. So I started working, and I remember one of my first positions was one of the, what was it called? A busser. I was one of the tallest bussers in the club. They were like, this guy's that's the tallest busser ever. But I was / VIP host. It was a made up position, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Whatever it needs to be for me to, be inside and have my foot in. So I started doing that during COVID. After COVID, that happened, and then I started working my way up. Keep going, and then one of my first clients was an MLS soccer player. That's how I got one of my biggest bookings, was an MLS soccer player during that time when COVID ended, and he started going out. He recently moved to Houston, so then I started getting more referrals, more players. But in that time it was more like cold calling. I would go to every table and try to get them to go to the place after. It was more like just interaction in person. It really broke my shyness and gave me more confidence in just speaking to people, even talking to girls. I was very shy to talk to girls as well. But that time it just helped me talk to more people, get more clients. And then basically what happened was I moved to, what's it called? Then after COVID, I went, because I was in school as well, so I was studying at FIU, so that was my first like hospitality school that I've done. So I did 1 year online during COVID, and then the next year I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to Miami. I need to go in person. I want to see what the hospitality is all about. And one of my biggest inspiration was Dave. Dave Brumman, who owns Grew Hospitality. So I was like, you know what, I need to take a risk and, you know, take a chance and see what it's all about. So I went 1 year as I was in school, and then started working in the venues like Story, Komodo, it was back then. And I just saw a different perspective about hospitality and just a general, you know, difference in how nightlife is, you know, or just in general how people are different, like different types of clientele. So it helped me a lot in vision. So then I graduated, came back, and then my good friend Darwin, he was in the industry as well in Houston, but then he decided to, you know, he's like, I need to go to Miami. So I came back to Houston. I stayed there for like 2 years, and then Darwin came to Miami and started working in the industry, and he leveled his way up, you know, he met a lot of people, got a lot of connections. So then Darwin asked me, you know what, yo bro, I'm going to New York, I'm gonna tap in over there, you're gonna come to Miami, hold it down for like 3 months, come, you know, run someplace, you know, go for it. And I'm like, you know what, this is my chance. So I took the chance, I took the risk, went to Miami, you know, saved up for like 3 months just in case, you know, whatever happens. Obviously nothing's steady in your life, everything's a risk. So I took the chance, went to Miami, and then, you know, grew throughout time, just started growing, started networking, started growing with different types of people, and just it made me realize taking risks sometimes is better, that you don't think sometimes being in your comfort zone is, you're gonna lose something, you're just thinking about the most negative things ever because you're in your comfort zone. You don't want to be out the comfort zone. You think just being steady in pace, it's gonna be for the rest of your life. But if you really want to change and you really want to be different, it's okay to take a risk. I took a risk. I was working during that time when Darwin called. I was working as a hotel front desk, and I was like, this is not for me. Even though I graduated in hospitality, I was like, this is not for me. I don't want to be a hotel front desk for the rest of my life. We just work in hotels. Like, there's no way I'm doing this like 9 to 5. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take the risk. You know, why not? And obviously now I'm at this position. I'm almost gonna be 2 years in July. It was for my birthday when I moved, July 12th. And now I've realized I've grown so much. Me and Darwin have done so much, and it's just a different life of how we've accomplished these things. And you know, people don't think how we come up, and you don't take the realization that sometimes you do so much and you don't take it in. And right now I'm doing this video just to, you know, just to update y'all guys. Sorry, I was speaking fast. Update y'all guys that anything's possible. If I can do it, if I started as a referee and I wanted to become a professional soccer referee, I could probably be reffing at this World Cup game. You know, that's how good I was. But obviously I did not want to, you know, just live, I mean, it sucks to say, but a normal life. But people love to live normal lives as well. So, you know, to each their own. So I really wanted to be someone different and, you know, make an impact in this world and, you know, create a last name that everyone will remember. So taking risk is always grateful. Like right now, I'm going to go to Europe. I'm going to go for 2 weeks, Ibiza and then Mykonos. Obviously, it's a lot of money spent, but I feel like it's going to be well paid and well worth it, because these type of experiences I could never think or fathom even spend money on a trip. I was very tight budget. I was very close-minded, and it's not for me. I always liked being open-minded. I always like new ideas, new changes. It's a lot of things happen in this world, and sometimes you do have to be open-minded, because if you're very close-minded and you think just negative about the life, you're not gonna go anywhere. You have to adapt. You have to adapt to changes, and that's what world is. Everything's about adapting. So that was my story. Now I live in a studio here in Miami. Nothing crazy, you know. Hopefully one day I'm gonna be like a 1-bedroom, 1 den, you know, a good penthouse vibe, nice. But now it's a studio. I love it. It's just me literally chilling here. So guys, if anyone's watching this, obviously, you know, if you're thinking of taking a risk or anything, I think I'm 26 years old, about to be 27, I'm pushing 30. So I think it's time to take risks, and life is about risks. If you don't take risks, it's not, I don't know what is life all about. So guys, I'll keep you posted. I'm gonna start uploading more videos. I think a vlog is coming out in the next week or 2 weeks. I went to Playa del Carmen. So this is my first long intro kind of video. So let's see how it does. I'm excited. I just wanted to tell you my story of how I came up and basically landed here in Miami. So guys, talk to you soon, and hopefully wish you the best. Let me know you like these guys. Comment down below if you have more questions, whatever. And yeah, talk to you soon, guys. Peace.